Welcome to my channel Echoes of Coin. What if a simple coin sitting quietly in your drawer could actually be worth far more than 50 cents? The 1776 to 1976 half dollar isn't just another piece of American currency. It was created to celebrate 200 years of history, freedom, and revolution. Millions were made, yet some versions have become highly collectible and surprisingly valuable. Hidden inside this commemorative coin is a story of national pride, artistic design, and the legacy of one of America's most remembered presidents. But why does this coin carry two dates? And what makes certain examples worth far more than their face value? Let's uncover the fascinating story behind the 1776 to 1976 half dollar. The story of the 1776 to 1976 half dollar begins long before the coin itself was ever designed or minted. It begins with a moment that defined the identity of the United States of America. In 1776, a group of representatives gathered in Philadelphia to sign the Declaration of Independence, a document that would forever change the course of world history. That moment marked the birth of a new nation founded on ideals of liberty, independence, and self-government. For 2 centuries, Americans remembered and celebrated that defining year. As the 200th anniversary approached in the early 1970s, excitement began to grow across the country. The upcoming bicentennial was not just another celebration. It was a historic milestone that only occurs once every 200 years. The government, cultural organizations, and citizens all wanted to commemorate the moment in meaningful ways. One of the most symbolic ways to celebrate national history in the United States has always been through coinage. Coins circulate through millions of hands every day, making them powerful tools for telling stories and honoring important events. For generations, the designs of American coins have reflected leaders, monuments, and values that represent the nation's identity. As the bicentennial approached, the United States government began planning how to mark the occasion in a way that every citizen could experience. Eventually, the idea emerged to redesign several circulating coins to commemorate the anniversary of American independence. These coins would be produced in large numbers and released into everyday circulation so that people across the country could hold a piece of the celebration in their hands. 3 denominations were chosen for the bicentennial redesign: the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar coin. Each would feature a unique reverse design celebrating the nation's 200-year history. Among these, the half dollar already carried deep historical significance because it featured the portrait of President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar had first been introduced in 1964, only months after the tragic assassination of President Kennedy in November 1963. The nation was still grieving, and the decision to place Kennedy's portrait on the half dollar was widely supported as a tribute to his leadership and legacy. The coin quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of American currency. By the 1970s, the Kennedy half dollar had already become a symbol of remembrance and national identity. Keeping Kennedy's portrait on the bicentennial coin ensured continuity while allowing the reverse design to celebrate the nation's founding. The United States Mint decided that instead of producing coins dated 1975, all bicentennial coins would carry the dual date 1776 to 1976. This unusual feature immediately made the coins stand out. It visually connected the founding of the nation with the modern era, reminding people of the long journey between those 2 points in history. To create the new reverse designs, the U.S. Mint held a nationwide design competition. Artists from across the country were invited to submit their ideas for how the bicentennial coins should look. Hundreds of designs were proposed, each attempting to capture the spirit of American independence and the significance of the bicentennial celebration. For the half dollar, the winning design was created by Seth G. Huntington, a talented artist whose concept beautifully represented the nation's revolutionary heritage. His design featured Independence Hall in Philadelphia, one of the most important buildings in American history. Independence Hall was the location where the Declaration of Independence was debated and adopted in 1776. It was also where the United States Constitution was drafted in 1787. Few buildings symbolize the birth of American democracy more strongly than this historic structure. Huntington's design captured Independence Hall in elegant detail. The image shows the famous building standing proudly, representing the courage and determination of the founders who gathered there centuries earlier. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America and half dollar, along with the motto E pluribus unum. The dual date 1776 to 1976 appears on the obverse alongside the familiar portrait of President Kennedy. This combination created a powerful connection between the nation's revolutionary beginnings and its modern political history. Production of the bicentennial half dollars began in 1975, even though the coins carried the dual date instead of a standard year. The United States Mint produced the coins at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, following the traditional practice used for many years. The Denver Mint added a small D mint mark on its coins, identifying their place of origin. The San Francisco Mint produced both proof coins and special collector versions. Millions upon millions of bicentennial half dollars were struck. In fact, the production numbers were so large that the coin became extremely common in circulation. The government wanted as many people as possible to encounter these commemorative coins during the bicentennial celebration. Even though the coins were produced in large quantities, their unique design and historical significance made them popular among collectors. Many people decided to save them rather than spend them, hoping they might become valuable in the future. One of the most interesting aspects of the bicentennial coin program was the production of special silver versions for collectors. While regular circulation coins were made primarily from copper-nickel-clad metal, special collector editions were struck with 40% silver content. These silver coins were never intended for general circulation. Instead, they were sold directly to collectors as part of special mint sets. Their precious metal content and limited distribution made them more desirable than the standard versions found in everyday change. Collectors quickly began searching for the different mint marks and varieties of the bicentennial half dollar. Coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all had slight differences that could affect their value. Proof versions from San Francisco were especially prized because of their mirror-like finish and careful striking process. Over time, the bicentennial half dollar became a fascinating subject for coin collectors. While most examples remain worth close to face value, certain varieties, high-grade specimens, and silver versions can command much higher prices in the collector's market. Condition plays a major role in determining the value of any coin, and the bicentennial half dollar is no exception. Coins that were heavily circulated often show scratches, wear, and fading details. These examples are generally worth only their face value or slightly more. However, coins that were preserved in uncirculated condition can be significantly more valuable. These coins retain their original luster and sharp details, making them attractive to collectors who want the best possible examples for their collections. Proof coins represent another level of quality. These coins were specially prepared by the U.S. Mint using polished dies and carefully treated planchets. The result is a coin with sharp details and reflective surfaces that stand out dramatically. For collectors, proof bicentennial half dollars offer a combination of artistic beauty and historical significance. Many collectors consider them essential pieces in any complete Kennedy half dollar collection. Despite the large mintage numbers, the bicentennial half dollar remains one of the most recognizable commemorative coins in American history. Its design instantly evokes the spirit of the nation's bicentennial celebration and reminds people of the revolutionary events that shaped the United States. Even today, decades after the bicentennial celebrations ended, these coins continue to circulate occasionally in pocket change. Finding one unexpectedly can feel like discovering a small piece of history. But beyond its historical symbolism, the coin also represents an important moment in American coin design. The nationwide competition that produced its reverse design demonstrated how art and history can come together to create a lasting national symbol. For many collectors, the bicentennial half dollar serves as a starting point for exploring the wider world of coin collecting. Its availability makes it accessible to beginners, while its historical context provides endless opportunities for learning. The story of this coin is not just about metal and minting. It is about memory, celebration, and the desire to honor the past while looking toward the future. Every time the coin changes hands, it carries with it the echoes of 2 centuries of American history. And that is precisely what makes the 1776 to 1976 half dollar so special.